Let's be real, the community has been stagnant for quite some time now, and with the cancellation of that game, there's nothing to look forward to. It's 2025 now. Those TLOU days are over, and they have been for a while. And sure, we have a tiny but mighty community, but slowly and surely that player base is dwindling. Not gonna lie, it's hard to feel optimistic about this already dying community. I mean, no new events or news are coming, right?
Watch my ass.
Oh. Recently, something unprecedented happened in Factions. If you don't know, TLOU announced TLOU Reloaded, a project aiming to revive the discontinued PS3 servers and introduce some new changes. In my opinion, I think it's really fresh to see something like this. For once, it's not a tourney or some generic event that we've seen countless times. While I'm not saying this project will bring back the golden days, it's definitely something that could help prolong the life of this game. The feedback for it was mostly positive, but it also stirred some confusion. And who can blame anyone? I mean, we've never seen anything like it. Not much explanation was given, so naturally it raised many questions. That's why in this video, I'm gonna break it all down. Everything I'm allowed to share about this project. I'll answer any questions that you may have and also do a Q&A segment. Now this is all possible thanks to the people behind TLOU Reloaded. They're the ones who gave me the green light to share all the details. They were happy to answer all the questions you'll see in this video, so if you're interested in trying out this project after you watch this, make sure you join their Discord. It's the main dedicated to Factions Discord, or I like to call it Bobby server for any OGs out there, you know what I mean. Any and all news will be there along with other community members. And with that, let's get into the video. What is TLOU Reloaded? It's a fan-made project aiming to resurrect the offline servers for PS3. If you didn't know, Naughty Dog shut down their multiplayer servers back in 2019. You can't log in and have to rely on the PS4 and PS5 servers to play Factions. I know this isn't a problem for most since the console is like 2 generations old, but there's a lot more to it than just a server revival that surprised even me, so don't dismiss it just yet. Who is making it possible? The team behind this project is led by Vampire and TLOU. I can imagine most of you know who TLOU is, but not so much is known about Vampire. Who is he? Well, he is one of the few developers on the Uncharted Reloaded team. So far, they've revived Uncharted 3's multiplayer servers and currently are working on Uncharted 2 to do the same. Just to name a few things they've added are new boosters, modified boosters, swapping around cosmetics on characters, increased sprint speed, and a whole lot of other stuff that I really don't know because I have never played the Uncharted series before. Everything is done on their private servers. They have step-by-step guides to follow so you can experience the fun. So if you're interested in trying out the other Uncharted projects, make sure to join their Discord. So judging from their past work, it's safe to say these guys are reliable and won't make any empty promises. Now you might ask, why should I care if it's only for PS3? Many of you watching may not have a PS3 or just don't care enough to play on old hardware. And trust me, they've seen the comments pointing this out. So what's the point in all this? Well, preservation, longevity, availability, multi-platform, support, and why not? Preservation. Factions won't be here forever. Naughty Dog will shut down the servers the same way they did PS3. When that happens, no one will be able to play Factions, and it'll most likely become lost media. But this project prevents that from happening. Longevity. Essentially, Factions will live into the 2030s if there's still interest. You might ask, why not mod the remastered version instead? Simple. It's illegal. More on that later. Multi-platform. This project actually allows PC users to join in on the fun. Yes, you will be able to play Factions using a PC. If you haven't noticed, the gameplay you're watching right now was played on a PC, and it runs way better than expected. More on this later. Availability. It was a bummer for a lot of people back in 2019. An example is many South American players couldn't afford newer consoles. But once again, PS3, PS4, PS5, and now PC players will be able to enjoy Factions. Support. Factions hasn't had any dev support since I think around 2018. For this project though, we will be having active support from the Reloaded team. Stuff like in-game changes, small bugs, or things that the devs never really got to fix will now be possible. And let's face it, Naughty Dog isn't coming back. They're not touching 10-year-old code, so it's up to the fans to clean the left behind mess. And finally, because why not? This project is all in good faith. There are no cons that I can think of, so if you don't like it, don't play it. But then again, I just really can't imagine anyone disliking something as cool as this. For a lot of us fans, there's no other game that can replace the love for Factions, so knowing it's here to stay, along with the possibilities that come with the project, is massive news. Just imagine loading up Factions on PC, seeing all these changes that the devs never got to tweak. I mean, it's something us fans have wanted for a long time. What interests me too is the potential for modding. More UI settings, character cosmetics, maybe new game modes if that's possible. I mean, I can see them even incorporating custom private match settings for comp players and help revive that competitive scene. Of course, nothing is certain, so don't have such expectations, but it's still cool to think about. Some of you are probably wondering, how can I play this? It is currently in the beta phase. Members in the Discord are randomly selected to play. As of this recording, there are over 40 beta testers, so if you want early access, your best shot is to join the Discord and hope you're selected. The process is simple. Verify your PSN account, get your IP address whitelisted, mess with some DNS settings, then boot up TLOU and load up Factions. If you want to play day one of release, you still need to be in the Discord as all the verification stuff goes through there. Note to not bother or harass any beta testers, mods, or staff to give you access. They won't help you. They're doing this in their free time and don't owe you anything. When will it be public release? As stated in their announcement post, we do not want to rush our developers within an exact date, so we are leaving it ambiguous on the when the release will be. Do I need to pay to play? No. Everything will be free of charge. How can I support the creators? The best thing you can do to support the team is, and I quote, follow the rules. Again, they do this for free, so it saves them a lot of trouble when you just follow the rules. They also don't accept any donations since money complicates things, so just follow the rules, spread the word, and just have a good time. Before I start the Q&A segment, I want to give a shout out to Destin for answering a lot of these questions. Hopefully a video format will reach more people, that way having to repeat things over and over won't be a problem. Just Buddy asks, curious why you didn't go with the remastered version. As I said before, it's illegal. The project though is protected under Section 1201 of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, citing game preservation to recover files. The remastered version is still playable. If the team attempted it, Naughty Dog would certainly shut it down, and maybe even sue him. Cryptic Siren asks, any chance of this for PS4? And for those who don't know, Shad PS4 is an emulator for the PS4. They have no interest or plans to do this. And I quote, we don't have any intent on working on an online and functional game. We highly recommend supporting both Sony and Naughty Dog with a purchase of the PS4/PS5 system and The Last of Us 1 and 2 on said systems. The chances of this happening, as of right now, are 0. But one can only hope. Sneak, I don't even know how to pronounce that. They ask, so what will I need to play it? A standard version of TLOU on an unmodded PS3 will do? Can I get into any trouble having my PSN account banned for playing it? Will there be any cheaters? Any PS3 console will work. Whether it be jailbreak, modded, standard, it doesn't matter. As long as you have a functioning PS3, you can play. You will not get into any trouble with Sony for playing TLOU Reloaded, and cheaters will be permabanned from the servers. Note that if you get your account banned by using a modded console, that is your own fault. Will this allow you to get multiplayer trophies for PS3 without getting banned? Yes, this project will allow you to earn all of the multiplayer trophies, and Sony will not ban your account. The Factions King wants to know, who are the creators of this Reloaded Factions? Any notable names who play the current Factions MP? No. The Uncharted Reloaded Team consists mainly of Uncharted players. Before you start panicking, know that Look and his personally selected team do play a pivotal role in this project. More on that later. Butter asks, can you still get Factions for PS3? If you don't have a copy for PS3, you can still play by buying it digitally or physically. However, you will need an online pass and the Treacherous Territories map pack downloaded. If you don't, then you can't play in the servers. Mahink asks, what if you never owned the PS3 version? You can't download the map packs anymore, right? That's right. You won't be able to play and will have to find a way to get the licenses for it. The same goes for an online pass. What do you mean by balance changes? It's exactly as the trailer said. The team is able to modify and introduce some new changes to the gameplay. For example, they can change how much ammo costs for certain weapons or how much damage it can inflict. Of course, there are limitations to what they can do, like change a map's design or core gameplay mechanics. Even right now, they're still not sure how much they can change as things are still developing. Who is responsible for making these decisions? I'm sure most of you are worried these guys won't know what needs fixing since they're all Uncharted players. Well, you'll be happy to know that they're not in charge of the decision-making process, nor have any say in what gameplay changes will be made. The Uncharted Reloaded Team is strictly only allowed to modify the game and really just make it all function properly. Everything involving gameplay changes is handled by the Balance Team. The Balance Team, what do they do? The Balance Team is responsible for any new feature that will be added to the game. They decide what to change and then communicate that with the Uncharted Reloaded Team so they can implement those changes. The Balance Team is led by Look and he handpicks who can and cannot join the team. I'm told that the team can consist anywhere from 6 to 12 people. Who is on the Balance Team? The only people who know are Vampire, Look, and those on the team. No one else is allowed to know because it would create problems. If identities are discovered, players will constantly ask them to change this or that. They may even be unhappy with the changes and harass the team. People are also judgmental and stuff like, why is this person on the team and I'm not, will occur often. It's just best if nothing is disclosed. Saves them a lot of trouble. How can I join the Balance Team? Anyone can join. One member might be a casual who plays on the weekends, while another could be an ultra sweat who lives and breeds factions. Whether you're skilled or not, doesn't matter. The only criteria is hoping you get selected by Look. I hear a lot of essays are written there too, so take that as you will. Can I suggest any changes? No, but you are free to discuss your opinions about them in chat rooms. The Balance members may review any feedback said, but are not obligated to accept any requests. This means they'll take everything said into consideration when making decisions, but have full authority at the end of the day. As stated, our Balance Team will not answer their plans, changes, and the likes. We will test them, discuss amongst ourselves, and review community feedback. Remember that all rules must still be followed when giving feedback, or it may result in a ban. How will you combat cheaters? The Reloaded Team has taken multiple safety measures to prevent just anyone from barging in. For starters, they have a list of known cheaters in the community who will be denied access day one, permanently. And since this project isn't open source, access is only granted via IP address, meaning unwanted players cannot join. If a player doesn't follow Reloaded's rules, they will be blacklisted from playing. The same applies to Discord rules. And since alt accounts are prohibited, you won't be able to infiltrate both servers under a new name. The Discord also has multiple bot verification steps to prevent alt accounts from joining. For those concerned about VPNs or unsure of the team's ability, it's worth noting that each user is manually verified, and the Uncharted Reloaded servers have shown to have good management against cheaters. Cheating has happened in their servers and they have all been dealt with. In the case a user is suspected of cheating, they are given a fair trial during which the evidence is reviewed. However, the evidence itself is not shared to avoid unnecessary appeals. So if someone is cheating, it's more than likely they'll get caught and banned. Blue Collar Balling wants to know, what balance changes are being made? They've only revealed these changes so far. You can get an idea of what's to come. I was fortunate to have seen the details, but wasn't given permission to share any specifics. Although, I'm happy to report that the changes aren't bad at all, and for the most part, they have fixed things the community has collectively wanted for a while. Modders are slowly adding what the Balance Team has sent them, so everything is a work in progress. Robardian asks, my biggest concern is the changes will be catering to the sweaty effing players. Any way you can comment that this won't be the case? No specific group of players will be catered towards, whether it be comp or casual. They ensure this by having members of various backgrounds to widen their perspectives, ridding any unconscious biases members may have. They don't want changes that only reflect the top % of the player base. The majority of discussions are non-biased views that have to be backed up with logical reasoning and evidence. Once all members of the balance team have come to a consensus, they tell the modders what to change. Overall, the balance team aims to do what's best for the player base as a whole, so hopefully this puts your mind at ease. Alex asks, what about the content? As far as I remember, not all the weapons and maps made it into the PS3 version of the game. Is that the case? All DLC maps, weapons, perks, customizations, and special executions will be unlocked to use in TLOU Reloaded. That means as long as you already own the DLCs, you will be able to use or play them. Hector Pitt wants to know, will there be crab walking and wall shooting? Unfortunately, they are exploits the mod team aren't able to fix. That's only something Naughty Dog can do. However, as I explained before, you will most likely not have to worry about any cheaters. Another comment from Robardian. He asks, the PS3 version was notorious for having bad FPS. That was the main reason I jumped ship to PS4 Remastered. Any way you guys are able to work on that? Unfortunately, this is a hardware limitation. It has nothing to do with the game or project itself. The PS3 is just too old. You'll have to play at 30 FPS. How is Factions on PC? You might be surprised to learn that Factions can be played on PC. So how does this work? Well, emulators. An emulator is a software program that allows a PC to mimic gaming consoles, which means you can play games designed for consoles on your PC. This is how Factions, a PS exclusive title, can be played on PC. How do I install and start playing? Factions will be using the PS3 emulator. To install it, simply open any web browser and visit the official PS3 website. The process is a bit longer than the PS3 setup, but there are members and guides that'll help you. To start playing though, you will still need to be randomly selected until its public release. What specs do I need to run it? You'll need a high-end PC. PS3 mainly relies on your CPU more than anything, so you'll really want to focus on a very strong processor. Other components like the GPU or motherboard matter less, but should still be decent, so there's no need for those 4090s. An RX 6600 or 2070 will do just fine. Here's a breakdown of the CPUs that meet the criteria to play. The minimum will get you about 30 FPS. Recommended will be around 55 FPS. And for the best experience, you'll achieve a consistent 60 FPS. Why you need such expensive CPUs like the Ryzen 9 950X3D or even the Ryzen 7 9700X is beyond me. And by the way, that's not cheap at all, but I guess that's just how it is. I'll add some descriptions, that way you can screenshot this and send it to anyone that's asking to know. It's important to note that both the minimum and recommended specs will experience some issues, which is why only high-end PCs are advertised. Sure, pairing a strong CPU with a decent GPU and plenty of RAM can run it, but don't expect a smooth experience without a beefy CPU. I also doubt anyone wants to bottleneck their PC, so it's more than likely only those who have a high-end build will truly enjoy Factions for the PC version. If you were wondering what specs were used to run the gameplay shown earlier in this video, it was a 12700K with AVX 512 enabled, 32GB of RAM, and a 4090. Big thanks to Family Guy for providing me with this info and capturing the gameplay. He's helped almost everyone set up their emulators and log into the servers, so huge appreciation to him. What's the difference between PC and PS3? You do have advantages when playing on PC. You can disable motion blur, increase your FPS, and other miscellaneous things. The one major difference though is you do have access to the dev menu. The first thing that comes to mind for me at least is theater mode. Factions doesn't offer a theater mode, so getting cinematics will be pretty cool to see. Also, the dev menu isn't filled with massive cheats like infinite ammo or God mode. Only a few things are there, and I'm pretty sure they do know when you use it, so if you're using it for an unfair advantage, don't even try. You'll just get yourself banned. I will also mention that players do experience their character bug out if the FPS goes over 67. It might be best to cap it at 60. Is there crossplay for PS3 and PC? At the moment, there is not. Both have their own private servers. Whether or not this changes in the future is still unknown. Also, just to clarify in case it wasn't already clear, TLOU Reloaded servers will not have crossplay with the current Naughty Dog servers. If you plan on sticking with the current TLOU Remastered servers, you won't have to worry about any PC players joining your lobby. Can you play on mouse and keyboard? Mouse and keyboard is supported on PC. You can also use either a PS3, PS4, or PS5 controller to play. Remember that this only applies to PC players and is considered cheating on PS3 servers. Jonathan is asking if this project is Steam Deck compatible. I asked Vampire this and he said, Steam Deck emulation isn't something we work on. It is the PS3 devs who would develop the emulator and potentially make it able to run TLOU. I guess time will have to tell whether or not this is possible, but it's looking like it won't be, at least for a while. Evan is asking, to play on PC, will I need to own TLOU Remastered? You'll need the PS3 copy of the game. The remastered or any other version won't work. Having the original version of The Last of Us is the only way to play Factions on PC. Talk wants to know, how will I be able to play on PC? The Last of Us OG isn't on PC. Since the original PS3 version of The Last of Us isn't on PC, you'll need to dump the copy of the game, and then run it on PS3. Again, you will need to use the PS3 copy of TLOU. It won't work with the PC version, or any other version for that matter. I'm sure there are tutorials on YouTube on how to dump a game for emulation, but if you can't do that, then you'll have to find some other way or you won't be able to play. A lot of people are having problems with this new verification system, so here's a guide on how to join the Discord. The verification bot also kicked a ton of people, so if you're already in this Discord, chances are you aren't anymore, so make sure to follow these steps to join back. For step 1, go to the description of this video and click on the link next to TLOU Factions Discord. It'll take you to this page. Click Accept Invite. You'll then be met with this screen and will only have access to these channels. To access the rest of the channels, you'll first need to go through some verification steps. Upon joining, you'll get a DM from the verification bot. Click on the top left of your screen to see this message. Then click the blue link that says, "Click to verify me." It'll take you to this screen and the bot will verify you. It'll only take a few seconds. You'll know you're verified when you see this screen, and this message in DMs. Note that you have exactly 2 minutes to verify your account. If you don't do it in time, the bot will automatically kick you from the Discord, and you'll have to rejoin again. After your account has been verified, go back to the server. You'll notice these 2 new channels have opened up. Verification and Verification Spa for Spanish speakers. Post a picture of your PSN or Steam account, like so. Then wait for a staff member to verify your account. It could take a while before a staff member verifies it, so just check back later. After a staff member has verified you, these new channels will open up. Go to the Choose Your Role channel and add any roles that you want. Keep in mind that you need certain roles to access certain chats. A lot of people don't realize this and leave the server because they can't see the main chat rooms. So if you don't see any of the channels that I'm seeing, it's probably because you need to apply a certain role. And that's it. You've finished the verification process. If you don't know what a channel is meant for, you can click the channel tab on top to see its description. For example, this channel is meant for users to find teammates to play public matches. There's also categories that group related channels together under a single heading. Like this category contains all server information channels. And this one has all in-game activities like forming teams or trophy hunting. This is also a good time to mention that Gamma Flores hosts sessions every day for any players who want to platinum the game. If you're interested, go to the Boosting Sessions channel. You'll be able to sign up there by clicking the green check mark. All date and times are converted to a member's local time zone, but still be sure to read all important information above. Gamma also pings the trophy hunters whenever he updates the schedule. Some users may encounter problems when trying to verify their account. So if you experience these issues, this is how you can resolve it. When verifying on this screen, if you get any advertisements asking for personal information like your credit card details, ignore or remove it. Ads may pop up. They are unrelated to anything involving this project, so just ignore it and exit out the page once it says success. Another common problem occurs when verifying on a phone. The bot might block you and show a message like VPN is not allowed. Possible solutions include temporarily disabling any ad blockers, using a different browser, going to any support channel for help, and reaching out to any staff members for a last resort option. If the bot approves you but shows this message, that is a different known issue that can be ignored. That's all for this segment. I'll now be showcasing Factions on PC. I originally planned to include this segment in the video, but I took it out to keep the video from being too long, or longer than it already is. I even covered some insider topics in it, so if you're interested in seeing that and some of the dev menu, I'll be linking that in the video's description. Look for the link next to Showcase segment. Make sure to share this video with anyone who's curious about this project. I really did try explaining everything I possibly could about it. If you have a question that wasn't answered in this video, feel free to ask it in the comments. Hopefully I or someone can answer it. All links and details will be provided in the description. Remember that you must be in the Discord in order to play TLOU Reloaded, since that's how they weed out all unwanted players. But yeah, big thanks to the Reloaded team for making it all possible. They really are doing something great for the community. But that's all for now, and thanks for watching.